Hi everyone. I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about some sad things that are happening here on the farm. I try to be positive and upbeat a lot, and it is. I love being out here on the farm, and it's great, but sometimes things just don't go quite as planned. Um, on April the 1st, we planted out our cabbage. We did a whole field of cabbage. We got our soil tested. It tested that it was high pH. We thought, okay, well, we're just going to roll with that and we're going to plant cabbage out. This is also the same part of the land that we had applied for a USDA grant for, as far as getting a high tunnel and drainage, which is still up in the air if we get the grant or not. So on April the 1st, we planted out our cabbage. Looked great, did great. We took off on a little mini vacation for my husband's birthday, and we went to Branson, which was a lot of fun. But while we're at Branson, I am nervously watching the weather. And here at home in the farm, it got down to 26 for several nights in a row while we were gone. And there was nothing we could do to help the cabbage. Now, cabbage is a cold weather crop, so it's not totally lost that we got down to 26, but that's really kind of pushing the limit on if the cabbage is going to make it or not. So we got back and checked out the cabbage, and it was a little frostbitten around the edges, but in the center, it didn't look too awful bad. So we're like, okay, well, we're going to wait and watch it. And we thought about just taking it all out and replanting, but we decided not to. We decided we're just going to wait. We had other things that needed to get done, other things that needed to be planted. It was waiting. So we're just going to give it a chance. So it is definitely heartbreaking and sad about the cabbage. Hoping maybe that it will come back a little bit, or maybe just, it's definitely stunted a lot, and some of it's stunted beyond repair. But we may get a few heads of cabbage out of it to make some sauerkraut this year, or possibly even sell at the roadside stand. But we'll see how that is. So this is our cabbage that we have growing here, and as you can see, this is about 2.5 months after planting it. There on the west end, it is coming up, definitely stunted, but coming along. Right through here, these little guys are for sure stunted, and that guy is just not going to make it at all. Gus was looking after our cabbage, but could do nothing about the cold temps. He tries his best to keep the pests away and the deer and the animals, but he sure couldn't do anything about the 26-degree weather that we got while we were gone. Down here on the other end, it's starting to come along a little bit better than in the middle, but it is plagued with water and drainage issues. We have had a super wet spring, lots of water, and so with the frost and then poor drainage on that end, the hoop house is a mini version of a high tunnel. This is what we have right now for our plant starts. Something else we were very, very excited about this year is last fall we actually applied. We had the USDA come out and walk the property, and we talked to them about possibly getting a high tunnel. So excited. The high tunnel would be going right in the area where the cabbage is planted right now. That's the area we chose for it. That's the area they thought would be best for it. The grant would cover the high tunnel and drains on each side, because there's a lot of water that would run off the top and would need somewhere to go. So it would pay for putting in underground drains and draining that off. So we were super, super excited about that and hopeful. It definitely was not a guarantee that we would get that high tunnel and that grant approved, but we were excited and hoping we would. We wanted to stay positive. So we were supposed to hear something in May. It is now June, and I hadn't heard anything. So last week, I actually gave them a call, and we found out that we were not approved in the first round of funding for the high tunnel. So that's a bit heartbreaking. We knew it wasn't a for sure thing, definitely all the way along, but we were very hopeful that we would be approved. There will possibly be a second round of funding. Last year there was a second round of funding. So you know, there might be this year, and if there is, our name and our farm and our high tunnel, you know, application is definitely in the running for that. But that is not guaranteed either. Um, and if that does not come through either, our application will go automatically into next year, as far as next year's funding, which would be a good thing too. But it is a bit heartbreaking, and it kind of leaves us up in the air on what to do with that area now. Um, you know, should we just go ahead and purchase a high tunnel on our own and do drainage so that area is able to grow things in? Because obviously, due to some of the water drainage issues in that area, and then also, you know, the frost, if we would have had a high tunnel for this year, the frost wouldn't have been an issue for our cabbage. Those colder nights would have been fine. Um, if we would have had the drainage for that area, you know, we wouldn't be retaining water, which is also giving our cabbage a hard time in sections of that area. So it's definitely, you know, should we just wait and see if we get a high tunnel, you know, and then probably next year's crop in that area is not going to possibly do well either. Should we just bite the bullet and get it ourselves? There's all things we're contemplating and trying to figure out right now. Just be patient or go ahead and go for it, hoping to be able to have a sustainable crop in that area. I don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out. If you have any suggestions or, you know, tips for us or ideas, we would love them. Because like I said, right now we're just kind of throwing it around, and it is sad. It's heartbreaking when, you know, you grow things and it doesn't turn out the way you're hoping. But farming and growing things is definitely a gamble. There's so many variables. You know, there's the weather, there's the temps, there's the rain, there's the drought. And then you have the animals, and you have deer, and you have bugs. And we don't use any chemicals or any sprays on our crops, and so that makes it a prime target for the animals to come in and for the bugs to come in, because they like it too, just as much as we do. But I just wanted to leave this right here with you to think about, and definitely send us your comments. We would love all the help and all the ideas that you all have. If you want to stay with us on this journey, please like and subscribe to our channel, and we're going to give regular updates on what's going on with this cabbage. If we ever do get to harvest any heads of cabbage off of this area, I'll let you know. Or if the cabbage is just stunted, the ones that are not growing at all, we'll let you know that too. But like I said, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. We do a lot of shorts also. And that's all for now. Thank you for tuning in. This is Robin at Sadona Farms.